Welcome back to another video from Insectech's Android Application Penetration Testing course. In this video, we are going to see how to debug an Android process which is running on the device using GDB. So we are going to do something called GDB client and server setup, where we are going to set up a GDB server on the device and we're going to connect to it using GDB client which is running on your system. So let us see how to do this setup. The first step is we need to find out the location of your system partition. To do that, first make sure that your device is up and running. As you can see, the device is running. Now let's get a shell on the device and see all the mounted partitions by using the command mount. As you can see, the system partition is located here, and this is read only. It has read-only permissions right now. So we need to remount this particular partition using read-write permissions. So let's do that. We can actually run this particular command. The reason why we have to remount this using read-write permissions is we need to upload something called GDB server onto your device. Right now that is not available on your device. If you execute GDB server, as you can see, it is not found. And that's the reason why we need to remount this particular partition using read-write permissions, because we need to put this particular GDB server into system bin location. Right now, if you observe the output of mount command, see this is now having read-write permissions. Fantastic. Now what we have to do is navigate to this pre-built Android ARM location inside your NDK, because GDB server comes along with your NDK installation. So we need to push it onto this system bin location on your remote device. So let's go ahead and check this out. Pre-built Android ARM GDB server, and this is where your GDB server is located. So let's quickly go ahead and push it onto the device. First, navigate to the directory where this is located, NDK Android NDK R10C pre-built Android ARM, and then GDB server. Give a quick ls there. As you can see, this is where we are. Now use adb space push GDB server and push it onto system bin. Now if you go back to your Android shell, if you run this command GDB server, it should work. Perfect. Now you can actually check out the version, which is 7.6. Now this is how you can actually set up GDB server on your device. If you're doing it on your real device, you need to have root privileges, right? So go for emulator. Now we have set up GDB server. Now we need to have a client to connect to this particular GDB server. But before starting that, before connecting from your client, you need to start your server as well. So let's first attach a GDB server to a specific process which is running on your device. So you can find out all the processes using ps command. As you can see, 1070 is the content provider application. So let me hook into this process using GDB server. GDB server attach, you can actually specify the port number on which it has to attach it to this process. Attach, and then specify the process ID. Now if you hit enter, it will start listening on this particular port. As you can see, it has attached to this particular process 1070. Now we need to go to this client and we need to find out the location of GDB client, because we need to connect to this server. So I'll show you the location of this GDB client in your NDK. First, get into this build, get into this tool chains and find out ARM Linux Android EABI. I'm going for 4.9 pre-built Linux x86, and then bin. This is where you can actually find out your GDB. So you just navigate to this particular location now. As you can see, this is the location I'm just going to. Android toolchains ARM Linux, it's 4.9, pre-built, Linux, x86 and bin. Now if you give a quick ls, as you can see, this is your GDB. Now you can simply run this particular application to connect to the remote server. GDB. Now we need to connect to this remote server. Target remote, port number 8888. Right, so now we are actually doing this remote debugging. If you just go ahead and see the server, you should see the message one client has been connected. As you can see, somebody is debugging from this host 127.0.0.1. It's remote debugging. Let's have a quick look at registers. Info registers. Right, so this is how you can actually debug the application which is running on your device. Now this is a very simple video where I have shown you how to set up the things before starting debugging remote processes. In the next couple of videos we'll see how an attacker can actually, rather than calling him an attacker, how you can actually go ahead and debug the processes which are running on your emulator. So that's all I have in mind for this video. Thanks for watching it. Thanks a lot.